What's up, YouTubex? Walshy1009 here, and today I am doing a video of my thoughts on the Apple event. This is going to be a pretty in-depth and long video, probably, if you can tell by the amount of tabs I have open on the top here of my Google Chrome. So if you don't want to watch this video, then by all means, leave a like and click off, or just click off. And I gotta say, from the amount of stuff at this event, it's the event I've enjoyed the most. There was a lot of stuff that they announced and were talking about, so it's probably best that we get into it now. So first off, they talked a bit about Apple Watch. They're saying, you know, Apple Watch is going great, blah blah blah, but they won't show us any sales figures. We have to try and come up with that ourselves. But they did announce new straps and a new edition. But first, we're going to go through the straps. You got your normal black ones, then you got your white, you now got a walnut sports band you can get. You then have a stone version you can get now, which in my opinion doesn't look too bad. Then there's an antique white. There is then a blue, your blue band. You then have what we saw before, the fog band, a turquoise band, which doesn't look too bad. You got a midnight blue band, kind of like the leather band, not like the leather case on the iPhone. You got a vintage rose, which doesn't look too bad. You have a lavender band. You then have a green band, like from earlier this year. The pink band, more like a teal. You then have an orange band, and then finally product red. And orange and product red, there's not that much difference. Product red's just a bit darker. In my opinion, the product red looks more of a pink to me, anyway. Then again, my eyes could be really stuffed up. But those are what the bands look like. They then talked about this watch. They were partnering with Hermes and making an edition called Apple Watch Hermes. Now, these things look odd, but I assume they appeal to the European market. And there's a lot of different weird but cool additions. For example, you got this double tour, which I think wraps around your wrist twice and costs you $1,250, so that's great. That's US, by the way. And then you have some pictures of it. Yeah, you got the double wrap around. You got a single tour, so if you don't want to wrap around your wrist twice, you pay less, $150 less. Yay. Also, more pictures. You then got the cuff. Now the cuff, what even is this? I'm hoping you can pull the watch out of the cuff thing, because that whole thing, it just looks really uncomfortable. Then again, I see why it would appeal to the European market, because they're really into these things, leather. So yeah, I mean, it looks weird. And look at that. Imagine the on your skin, how many times it would lock itself. It might not even detect your wrist that well. I'm hoping that's something they figured out. And then you got the collection with the bands in other colors, if you so wish. So yeah, and these are what the boxes look like. Looks like something you get from a chocolate factory. And you can purchase these in the following locations. So North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific would be me. And is there a store in Melbourne? No. So if you're in Melbourne like me, you'd have to go all the way to Sydney or Bondi to get a Apple Watch Hermes, which is great. Good thing I won't be getting one, because in my opinion, they don't look too good. But if you have another opinion, or you'd like to tell me what you think about these, of course, leave your comments down below. The cuff is $1,500, far out. Alright, next one. Apple TV. So after the Apple Watch, they got on to Apple TV. They announced it as their future of the television is with apps. They should have done that from the beginning, but anyway. So they announced a new Apple TV, slightly taller, now has an A8 processor, apparently 2 gigs of RAM, the new Siri remote, which looks kind of nice, and some motion stuff, so when you put your finger around on the Siri remote, the picture on the screen will kind of like do a wavy effect, kind of like when you tilt your like iPhone 6 or 5S, and you have that effect turned on, the perspective one, where it like kind of like moves in the background, makes sure you like feel the phone type of thing. Anyway, so it's all about the apps, and they clearly showed that. They showed Crossy Road. They showed this shopping app called Guilt. I think it's called Guilt. Where, you know, they showed people buying stuff. It was like, oh, so quick, and you know, the buy now button tracks you to buy stuff. So yeah, Apple fans, Apple people are guilty, and they'll probably be buying a lot of stuff on their couch. So they have a lot of other entertainment stuff here. They've been showing off like iTunes, movies and TV shows, Netflix and Stan, because this is the Australian version, so you don't have like Hulu and all that other stuff. They showed off games, as I said before, I think, games like Crossy Road, and this one where you have to like keep in time with the beat while hitting like baseballs or something. Looks pretty cool. It's got the, I guess, motion thing in it, so it knows what you're doing. And yeah, as you can tell, they really want to get into the living room. And the controller, you can see you got your touch pad thing around here, your play and pause button, volume up, volume down. No one's really sure as to what this TV button is. I think it's the home button, but could the menu button do the same thing? And Siri, as I said before, I think. So they're pushing entertainment, multitasking, games, and the App Store. By the way, new screensavers also. The App Store, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of apps in there. Periscope, of course, is going to be one, which is going to be pretty cool. Facebook and Twitter are eventually going to get there. Crossy Road, one of the first games that's going to be on there. It's really going to be awesome. And as I said here before, for example, Gone Girl, you see it available on iTunes and HBO. Find it where it's the cheapest and you can play. So it's pretty cool. And here's some of the things you can say to Siri. For example, play from beginning, turn on closed captioning, what's the temperature outside, launch a game, fast forward, what did that person say? So rewind 10 seconds, turn closed captions on, and then you'll be able to see what that person said. Turn on enhanced speech. So lots of cool stuff. And as you can see here, what you can do with the touchpad. So it's pretty awesome. If we look at specs here, you can see there's a big difference between the Siri remote and Apple remote. Still has an IR receiver, I'm assuming that's so it can sync with your TV and like turn off your TV, turn on your TV, turn up your TV's volume and stuff. The remote now communicates over Bluetooth, so you won't have to point it directly at the box in order to do something like the old Apple TV. Stuff in the iTunes store now includes Apple Music instead of iTunes Music. The dimensions, so now it's 35 millimeters in height compared to 23 millimeters, or in America 1.4 inches to 0.9 inch. Now it supports Dolby 7.1 surround sound, both 1080p, no 4K. Next one will probably have 4K streaming, it's just there's not a lot of 4K content at the moment, and I get that. It also has a dual-core A8 chip coming from a single-core A5, which is a big improvement, so you're going to definitely notice a performance increase. Bluetooth 4.0 still has 10100 Ethernet, but the new Apple TV has 802.11ac Wi-Fi, so you could technically use that if you have, provided you have an AC router. That would be faster than Ethernet. I know it doesn't sound like something you'd usually say, but in this case it is 100 megabits per second compared to 866 megabits per second, I think. But yeah, it has a USB-C port on it, which of course is for service only, or when the jailbreakers finally figure out how to jailbake this thing. And it tells you what's in the box: Apple TV, Siri remote, power cord, documentation, and lightning to USB cable to charge the Apple remote, or something you can leave lying around the house if you really want it. My thoughts on this, I will definitely be picking one up. It's definitely a big upgrade from my Apple TV 2. That thing's 720p. I had it jailbreaked at one stage. I think I still do, mainly because of the DLNA stuff, so I can access stuff off my network drive, like shows and stuff. Apple TV 4 is definitely going to be a big upgrade for me because App Store cause Siri, cause a new interface, gaming, a little gaming, and it's just really gonna fit into my, I guess, Apple ecosystem I have at the moment. At this stage, 32 gigabytes is $149 US, and 64 gigabytes is $199 US. I'm assuming in Australia it's going to be around the $300 mark at this stage. Hopefully it's a bit cheaper, fingers crossed, but that's my thoughts on it so far. But now, on to iPad Pro. Now, iPad Pro, it was actually the first thing they kind of announced before the Apple TV, so I probably should have mentioned that first. But that's okay, we're just going to roll with it. So iPad Pro is Apple's new tablet. It's kind of a giant tablet. So if you think about the iPad Air 2, I think that comes in at 10.9. I don't think that was it, like 10.1 or something inches. We'll look at it later because I've got a comparison chart. Whereas the iPad Pro is 12.9 inches. So it's this massive tablet, and for a lot of people it's not making sense to them, but for a lot of others it will. Now, raw power, of course, it's got a 64-bit A9X processor, so it's more powerful than the new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, mainly because they can drive a bigger display, and this thing's gonna just rip through shreds. I remember my Air 2's 88X just rips through everything, and I can't wait till iOS 9 comes out publicly, even though I've been using the public beta, so that I can take advantage of multitasking for third-party apps and whatnot. Then, there's Apple Pencil. Now, Apple Pencil, what even? People remember Steve Jobs saying at his 2007 iPhone keynote, "Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away, yuck." You know, cue the video. I'm not going to put it in because that's just been used so much during the week. Apple Pencil is pretty much a stylus. Alright? Now, to an artist though, it's not a stylus because it detects depth when you're putting it straight on the iPad Pro. So yeah, for an artist, for a really advanced artist, this would be a great product for them, and they wouldn't even think twice about purchasing this. By the way, for $99. Yes, $99. And on the forums, I don't know if this is confirmed, but half charge, you charge it with your iPad Pro, you actually take the top end off and plug it into your iPad Pro to charge. Apparently, you can get it to half charge in 30 seconds, or a reasonable charge in 30 seconds. Don't quote me on that, that's just what I heard on the forums. But yeah, as you can see, it detects depth right here, you know, drawing lines and shit. Add shading with the tilt of a hand, as you can see. So like a normal pencil, when you tilt, it will detect that tilt and add that shade. And as you can see, pro artists using it. Oh, here we go. What I was talking about before. 15 seconds of charging equals 30 minutes of battery life. So if you're in a rush, as you can see, in a rush, you can just plug the Apple Pencil into your iPad, charge for 15 seconds, and get 30 minutes in. So, pretty cool. Would I recommend this to a normal person? No. Would I recommend this to an artist? No. Would I recommend this to an advanced artist? Yes. I reckon it'd be it would be really worthwhile. You do it. Because if you're an advanced artist, you can't really do much with your finger. Whereas if you've got the Apple Pencil, you'll be able to do more. But for a person who wants a stylus, I recommend getting like one of those ones that works on iPads. You can probably pick one up online for about $10. Just don't get an Apple Pencil one because you don't need a stylus. You don't need to pay $100 for a stylus, pretty much, because that's crazy. But yeah, that's just a bit on Apple Pencil. And here we go, comparing the models. So, iPad Air 2 and iPad Pro, I would get it in gold personally. As you can see, the height is 12 inches, height 9.4. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. As I said before, 9.7 inch Retina display versus the 12.9 inch LED backlit displays. As you can see, the resolution got a bump, 2732 by 2048, only at 264 ppi. Now, I don't know if it's going to look blocky in some sense, We'll have to wait and see what it's like in person, because they bumped the pixels up. Yes, they did that, but the PPI is the same, and that could be a tad worrying, but we'll have to see. Of course, you've got your fully laminated display, the new A9X processor with an M9 coprocessor for like motion, all that. FaceTime HD camera is still the same. Camera pretty much still the same. Video recording still the same. Touch ID is the same. Yeah, AC now, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, which is always good. And Apple SIM compatible, so I guess you can leave the Apple SIM in. And yeah, so I would get an iPad Pro if you were an artist, as you can do a lot on this 12.9-inch gigantic device, or B, if you're in the classroom and you're a teacher and you need a lot of screen real estate to do a lot, as you can have two iPad, basically full iPad apps running side by side in multitasking mode. And C, if you consume a lot of media on Netflix or off your network drives, if you're watching media all the time, watching a lot of YouTube, Netflix, all that stuff like TV shows and movies, I would also get this. Pricing starts at $800 US, I believe, for the 32 gig Wi-Fi. Don't quote me on that though, it could be 64. And pricing will go up all the way to $1,100 US just for the iPad. Yeah, that's iPad Pro. So, iPhone 6s. Now, why did I start all the way down there? Well, iPhone 6s. How interesting. It's actually pretty awesome, by the way. When we were watching the keynote, my friends and I, you know, usually Skype or iMessage, we were looking at the iPhone 6s. We read on the forums that it was just going to have like Force Touch display, faster Touch ID. We thought, yeah, regular stuff, we're just going to watch this and go, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, it turns out to be freaking awesome. 3D Touch, if the little, oh, here we go, replay. So you can see the person holding down their thumb here on a mail. They can preview the message, and then if they hold down any further, they can pop into the message, which is pretty cool. And of course you can do a lot of stuff with that. They're shown on the home screen, where you can like hold down on an app, like for example the camera app, take a selfie, like go straight to the selfie camera. Also an upgrade in the camera department. On the back camera, you now have a 12 megapixel camera that shoots 4K video at 30 frames. This new feature called Live Photos, where you take a photo, if you have live photos turned on, it'll take snapshots and audio 1.5 seconds before and after that. So that's what you'll be able to do with the new iPhone 6s, 12 megapixel camera, 4K video, live photos. I'm really looking forward to using live photos. It seems really cool, and I can't wait for it. The idea of being able to see like, oh, you know, what actually happened a bit before and after that. Hold down your thumb, it's pretty cool. New A9 processor, not the A9X, just A9, so I guess a bit slower, but it's more improved for gaming, GPU performance, CPU performance, desktop class 64-bit architecture, up to 70% faster CPU and 90% faster GPU. I'm assuming that's compared to the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. I got a 5S at the moment, so upgrading to that will be huge. iPhone 6s, of course, still comes in your 4.7, 5.5 inch variants, and I think the 6s is now, 6s Plus is a tad thicker. I think it's 7.1 millimeters now. Of course, we'll check the comparison charts soon. Advanced security at a fingertip. Touch ID is now faster and more secure, which will be cool. Faster 4G LTE now has LTE advanced bands in it, so you can get LTE speeds up to 300 megabits per second now, and faster Wi-Fi with AC Wi-Fi. And of course there's improvements to the operating system with iOS 9, batteries improved and stuff. So yeah, and there's also new cases, leather cases and silicone cases. They've changed the colors this year. So the leather case now comes in midnight blue, saddle brown, rose grey. I might get the rose grey. It kind of looks pretty nice. Brown case and black. And of course, new silicone cases, white, charcoal grey, stone, antique white, lavender, midnight blue, turquoise, blue case. Actually, turquoise doesn't look too bad. Anyway, pink, red, and orange. So they look pretty cool, and you've got some nice charging docks also. Now, go to the comparison model. As you can see, there's a new rose gold model you can get. Now, rose gold looks more like of a pale pink. I don't mind it. It actually looks pretty nice, and if it came to like a last resort situation, of course I get gold first because that'd be my favorite. Probably be gold, either space gray or rose gold, and then silver last because I really don't like silver. It's just plain as hell. The capacities are the same. 16 gig is still here. Now, it frustrates me that 16 gigabytes is still a model because, like, it has 4K video now, and I think MKBHD YouTuber, a pretty high-end YouTuber, he checked out the settings, and 1 minute of 4K video takes up 735 megabytes, I think. So that's a lot on a 16 gig device. So, and that's without operating system and all that. So filming 4K on a 16 gig iPhone, I wouldn't do it. Your space will just go like that, and it's going to be pretty dumb if you do. But there's 64 also and 128, and this year it seems like a lot of people are going 64 because 16 is just useless. As you can see, the 5S now comes in 16 and 32 gigs. 6 comes in 16 and 64. They got rid of the gold on the 6 and 6 Plus. It's just now silver and space gray, which is kind of sad because I reckon they could just leave gold. But I get why they would do it, because costs and, you know, get manufacturing costs down and whatever. As you can see, display, Retina HD display with 3D touch, 5.5 inch and 4.7 inch. There were rumors that this new phone would have an AMOLED or an OLED display. Looks like they didn't come true. Hopefully an iPhone 7, fingers crossed. The Taptic Engine is now an included feature in the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus also. Instead of the normal vibration motor, there's now a Taptic Engine, kind of the one you find on an Apple Watch. So it's more precise. They can pump out more precise readings. Works really well with 3D touch display, and it should be really awesome. The 6S is 1334 by 750, still at 326 ppi, and the 6S Plus is still at 1080p, which is pretty cool. The contrast ratio 13 to 1, 1300 to 1, brightness, and your usual other stuff. Here we go, the depth. So the 6S Plus was at 7.1 millimeters in thickness. It is now at 7.3 millimeters. It weighs from 172 grams now 192, so a tad heavier. The chip, as you can see, you get the upgrade with the A9 processor. Now comes with 4G LTE Advanced. Touch ID, 2nd generation, a lot faster. Eyesight camera, as you can see, it's still f2.2 aperture. Was hoping to get that down to 1.9, but looks like they didn't do that. Still, optical image stabilization is still in the 6S Plus and the 6S iPhone 6 Plus. Doesn't look like we'll be making it to the 6S this year. And of course, you got your 4K video recording at 30 FPS, 1080p at 60, and you can do a bunch of other stuff, including, where is it? Also, 5 megapixel selfie camera for all you selfie users out there. That's pretty cool. And 720p at 240 FPS for the slow motion, which is pretty cool. Now, as you can see, you might have been hearing during the week that, you know, Apple's new event was a big fail. Stock went down, and, you know, people started selling their shares out. Thing is, it's actually a success, and the phone's not even out yet. As you can see here, the 6S Plus Gold 128 gig has an available ship date from 3 to 4 weeks already. 3 to 4 weeks if you were to pre-order today. Rose Gold 128 gig, 3 to 4 weeks. Let's try 16 gig for the 6 Plus. This is the 6 Plus, by the way. 6S Plus. 3 to 4 weeks. Let's go back to the iPhone 6S Rose Gold 128 gig. That's at 2 to 3 weeks. Let's go down to 16 gigs, 2 to 3 weeks. The only one I saw before that you could get on launch date in metro areas is the silver, because it just looks disgusting, and I don't blame you for no one trying to get that, because I don't like it really myself. Yeah, it delivers 25th of August in metro areas, so you can go pick it up. 128 gig is still 25th of August. Let's check out another color while we're here. The gold one still ships on that day. The thing is though, if you've noticed so far, the prices are unbelievable for the Australian region. $1,529 outright for an iPhone 6s Plus 128 gig. It is unbelievable. And as I said before, stocks on Thursday here, they were up for a bit, they went down a lot to 111, and then over the weekend it seems like it's picked back up to 114, the highest this business week, which is unbelievable. You're thinking, well wait, people started selling the stocks. I heard this was going to be a failed product. Why did people buy again? Well, you see, let's check out a few carriers' websites. Now, people buy their iPhones through carriers here in Australia because it's cheaper for them. They don't have to pay outright straight away, and it's just a better decision in the long run. So Telstra's website here, a carrier in Australia, probably the most popular carrier here. iPhone 6s you can still get on launch date. The 6s Plus though, you have to now place a back order, and Telstra's website doesn't even tell you how long that back order will be. I'm assuming when you get the email confirming the order, they'll tell you then. You can check out forums where people are probably talking about it. So here, if we look at the 6s, if the website ever loads, the 128 gig Space Gray still looks like available now to pre-order. Oh, hang on. Site loaded. Okay. So 16 is still there, 64 is still there, 128 is still there for the 6s. The normal 4.7 inch device. Go to rose gold, they're all still there. Go to gold, everything's still there, which looks like for a launch date ship, which looks pretty good. Now, I'm getting the 6s Plus through Telstra. We actually have a corporate contact that handles our family accounts. So, fingers crossed. They told us that they'd be able to pre-order us one and get the order in. Hopefully for a launch date release, they said. Fingers crossed they did, because the 6s Plus now has back order on everything by the looks of it. Except the Space Gray, I think. Oh no, available now for back order, never mind. So yep, everything is still on back order for the 6s Plus. Now, that's Telstra. What about Vodafone, another popular another popular carrier overseas, but not so popular here. 16 gig, check delivery times, you know. Check the estimated delivery time below and pre-order to secure your date. Delivery time, what about, let's go 3429, why not? Check. 6 weeks after approval, after order approval. What else is here? Silver, what about 128 gig? Check that, 2 weeks. What about gold? 128 gig. That looks like 2 weeks also. What about the Space Gray one? Still looks like 2 weeks. So it's still in high demand at Vodafone, not as big as Telstra. Optus, a popular character. Why do I keep saying character? A popular carrier here. 6s Plus, 128 gig, rose gold, the popular one at the moment. Pre-order full. Register for stock updates. Now, 64 gig, full. 16 gig, full. All gone for the 6 Plus. Go to the 6s. You can still get your 6s on launch date by the looks of it. Rose gold, 128 gig, you can still get it. So, I think last year, the iPhone 6, just the normal one, was the most popular. It seems like this year, the Plus version is the more popular one. 16 gig gold still there. 64 is still there. 128 gone. People are getting the 128s this year. Not many were getting it last year. And then if we check an American carrier, kind of said it right this time, like AT&T, 16 gig silver. You know, your item will ship between October 16th and the 23rd. So next month you'll be waiting for this phone. So people are saying, oh, it's a fail, you know, Apple's product, you know, it sucks this year. You're actually wrong, because they've already succeeded this year and the phone's not even out yet. They've just done pre-orders and it seems like millions of iPhones have been pre-ordered already, because nearly every configuration is on a delay or barely has stock left. So if you want to call it a fail, be my guest. But from what we've just seen, and even the stock price rising up this weekend to its highest this week, I think you're wrong. So thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a long video. This was just in depth, running through all the information, so that's why it was so long. I think I will do one of these every year when they do a September event, because it seems good to just go through all the information, dissect it, what I think. Summary is, Apple Watch Hermes, why would you? What appeals to the European market. Apple Watch new sports bands looks cool. I might pick up a turquoise one, or maybe even a product red. The Apple TV, definitely I'll get one of those later this year, probably in 64 gig configuration, because it only seems like it's going to be plus $50. iPad Pro, for the artist, for the advanced artist, the teacher, or the media consumer. And then iPhone 6s, definitely a worthwhile upgrade coming from the 5s. I don't know, if you're coming from a 6, can you possibly leave a comment down below on why you are upgrading from the 6 to 6s so soon. And just leave your general thoughts down below. What were you doing at this event? Did you watch it? What were your plans for it? Are you planning to get any of the products they announced? Leave your comments down below. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will be doing unboxings for the Apple TV and iPhone 6s Plus when I get my hands on them. Hopefully my 6s Plus on launch day, gold 128 gig, fingers crossed. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a nice day.